And here he comes onto the radio. Absolutely delighted. He can now afford a little bit of a smile because mercifully the road just starts to flatten off. There's actually a bit of a downhill run before the kick up the line through this little gentle chicane. And Mikel Nieve, the birthday boy, riding in the service of others so often, the selfless domestic, the superb climber deluxe. It is Cervinia serving up a slice of pink birthday cake for Mikel Nieve. A wonderful performance by the rider from the Basque Country. Delighted, urged on by the crowd here. He can't believe it. This is an emotional win. Are they tears in his eyes? Well, they're nearly tears in mine, I can tell you that. Mikel Nieve, birthday boy, is the victor here on the final big stage in the Giro d'Italia. Take a bow, Mikel Nieve, the winner here in Cervinia. Well, now Froome rounds the corner in the theatre here, this Stadio Naturale, looking at two of the finest talents in world cycling. Froome out in front, spinning that gear. Look at the face, look at the grimace of Simon Yates as he fights. He desperately wants to win this Giro. 2 stages in the back already. Leans on the gear around this corner. The voices of the Tifosi in the young man's ears. It is desperately close here at the top of Monte Zoncolan. Still, the road rears up. The pace so slow, yet so brutally hard.
Still fight left in Yates, out of the saddle. Look at the crowd urging these riders on. What a battle we are seeing. Chris Froome, he doesn't move from that saddle, sits there, spinning his legs. Yates chasing, fighting all the way.
150 metres to go for Chris Froome, grinding his teeth and grinding the gear. Look at the face of Yates for the first time. There is desperation in his eyes, trying to keep that gear going, still pedaling with that fluid, ridiculously high cadence style is Chris Froome. It looks as if Froome is going to take a redemptive win here on Monte Zoncolan. Froome rounds the final corner. He knows it is in the bag. What a superb performance. A difficult start, a redemptive win. Chris Froome for Team Sky takes the win atop Monte Zoncolan. He looks delighted, but fighting to stay in pink is Simon Yates. Rolls across the line in second place. What a ride for him.
And Terpstra is about to reach them.
He's not going to sit and wait. He's going to go straight past.
Terpstra is going to zoom straight past them on the outer Quaremont. He budges them out the way. Nicky Terpstra, who won every place, is about to light this race up, and the fans know that now. Look at the atmosphere here. Terpstra, he's leaving them behind. Nicky Terpstra, second in this race a few years ago. You feel that if he's going to win, he's got to win on his own. This might be his chance, but he has to shake Pedersen.
Well, we've got to remember the effort that he's put in up to this point.
This is the moment where it flattens out a little bit. Terpstra can put on the power again. It's been a quick-step game of pure dominance again. Arms aloft, and for the first time in 32 years, a Dutchman wins the Ronde van Vlaanderen. Quick-step, 21 wins, and Terpstra the man to do it.
And 2 riders at the front there, and Wout van Aert is on an absolute blinder. He's moved to the front, clearly feeling good, clearly, despite yesterday's nervous moments before the press pack.
Well, Pinot, he's finally made it up to these two. How much has that taken out of him? Will these two allow him to get up within the wheel and recover and rest?
And Pinot
there we go.
Pinot attacks.
Well, he's got the legs. He really has. And, well, the other two, they have not got an answer.
Bardet responding, Bardet trying to respond, but Pinot there, well, showing that it's the cobbled classic specialist who's getting the upper hand, not the Tour de France rider, not the cyclocross man. Narrow alleyways all the way to the finish line.
Very gingerly making that bend into the final descent.
And Thies Pinot has all the time in the world to celebrate a brilliant win, a perfectly planned strategy. He's covered in mud, he's covered in dirt, he's covered in sweat, and he's covered in glory, Rob. A great ride, and Thies Pinot, who knows, a breakthrough ride from him.
Absolutely incredible victory there. The team absolutely loving that, and not surprising. Perfectly executed, as you said. Here, coming into the finishing straight, second place.
Well, we wondered, didn't we, whether the 23-year-old three-time cyclocross champion Wout van Aert would have the legs to beat the man who's finished twice on the podium of the Tour de France. Bardet it is who wins that battle for second place.
Hats off to this man.
The revelation of the day. What can we say about him, Rob?
Well, third, he said, you know, if I could only get myself a top 10, that would be absolutely incredible. He's done better than that. He's got himself on the podium.
Pinot has opened the gap, and that's what he's been trying to do. He's made 4, 5, 6 accelerations, and finally he's broken Vincenzo Nibali. He's done what he set out to do, which is get away on the climb. Now there are 14 kilometres to do. A lot of it is descending, and that is where Nibali, he looks like a broken man.
He's gone, well, how much has he paid? How much has he paid for that lack of fueling?
Well, look at that. High fives at the side of the road, reaching out to touch the palms of the fans at the side of the road. He knows he's got it won now, Thibaut Pinot, and he's had a fabulous, fabulous season. And what a great way to finish it for the Frenchman. The man of the moment. Milan-Torino he won on Wednesday. He was second in Tre Valli Varesini on Tuesday, 5th in the Giro dell'Emilia last Sunday, 9th in the World Championship road race, and now he wins the first monument of his career, the 2018 in Lombardia, and Thibaut Pinot begins a new phase of his career as one of the great riders in the one-day Henny Classics.
Let's remind ourselves, 47 seconds was Chavez's time behind the pink jersey. Well, where on earth is Rowan Dennis? He has completely gone out of this, but Chavez is going to be a 2-up time trial.
Well, this is absolutely fascinating. Who would have bet on this? They reconned the route the other day. Looks like Simon Yates is going to get onto the wheel of his teammate. This is a quite remarkable performance. Still 600 metres to go. They're going to battle it out amongst themselves. Will he go straight by him? Will he latch onto his wheel? He needs to tell him he's there, because Chavez does not know that Yates is on his wheel. He looks across at his teammate, Yates and Chavez, the tandem for Mitchelton-Scott that have literally taken this race apart today. Fantastic scenes here on the slope of Mount Etna. Erupted into action. Yates, Chavez driving home. What are they going to do? Are they going to sprint it out? I think they're going to give this one to Chavez.
Time bonus on the line as well.
Big time bonus on the line, so Yates takes to the front, but it's Chavez who's really lit things up. But Yates, what a ride it was. He made sure he didn't take anybody with him. 250 metres to go now. A little bit of a rise to the line there. They look behind. They've opened up a quite remarkable gap. Daylight is there. It is going to be a win for one of these riders. This race has absolutely exploded on the slopes of Mount Etna. A spectacular finale to stage 6 of the Giro d'Italia. This is what the Giro is all about. Some of the most unpredictable racing you would ever wish to see. The Giro d'Italia has really come to life here in Sicily. Yates still leads. Who's going to take the victory? I think it's going to give it to Chavez. Chavez takes the win from Yates. Wonderful stuff from Mitchelton-Scott. What a day. Essentially, all of the best riders so far in this race. He's forced onto the front, so Simon Yates more than happy and goes again, accelerates, and just look at the pace. Nobody can respond to the power of this young British rider. Didn't attack from the back, not textbook, just utter grit, determination and ability. Absolutely sensational. almost Pantani-esque, riding on the drops and riding away at the moment with this Giro d'Italia. Does anybody have anything from this chasing group? Well, no doubt about the winner today. This is going to be Simon Yates. The clock will then be reset to see how far behind they are. This is just this final couple of curves before 600 metres to go. This now is this long straight. The road drops ever so slightly. He'll be fighting. This is essentially an individual time trial all the way to the line. What a quite astonishingly brave performance, a tenacious performance, an innate ability to attack, riding on field, sensing a moment of weakness from his rivals. He exploited it. He again tore this race, taken to the Giro d'Italia by the scruff of the neck, using the terrain to his advantage. He is, at the moment, the finest climber in this Giro d'Italia, building more time against the time trial specialists, time trialing himself to glory here. Simon Yates of Mitchelton-Scott, been in the pink jersey since Mount Etna, taking his third win of the Giro d'Italia so far in Sappada. What a virtuoso hat-trick of wins for Simon Yates.
That's the state of affairs. Greg Van Avermaet is still there from BMC. Got support of one rider as Chris Nylands goes on a very, very long-range attack from the Israel Cycling Academy. There he goes.
Well, that's a big move.
Nibali after him. Vincenzo Nibali looks like he's the next rider to fly out the road. Watch Nibali. He gets past Jean-Pierre Drucker, latches onto Nylands, and Nibali is on the offensive now, and the volume here alongside us goes up a little bit as Vincenzo Nibali goes on the attack.
This is dangerous, and the Katusha rider goes as well. Is that Nathan Haas trying to get himself across?
Well, it's a big name move, isn't it? From a big name rider. Vincenzo Nibali is flying up the road.
Spilak, I think it is, going across.
Katusha Alpecin, and that's drawn out another attack as well as somebody goes after. I think it's a Mitchelton-Scott rider goes after Spilak. And Nylands, what a great ride from him. Perfectly able to live with Vincenzo Nibali's attack at the moment. Two riders on the offensive, counter-attacking and trying to get across. And that's a Team Lotto NL Jumbo rider.
Battaglin.
Well, he's a fast finisher of all those riders. Enrico Battaglin, something of a sprinter, the Italian. But this is his local climb. In fact, we saw, didn't we, when we did a bit of reconnaissance, his name emblazoned on the top of the Poggio. Yeah.
The descent, could very well be decisive. And Nibali, well, he's not waiting for the descent, he's going.
Well, he's shown us nothing so far in 2018, Vincenzo Nibali, of what he's capable of. He has ridden very, very conservatively in every race we've seen him in Tirreno Adriatico, in Dubai as well. Vincenzo Nibali has kept his powder dry and shown us no cards whatsoever. But here he is, Vincenzo Nibali, on the attack. And he's in the barriered section now, Vincenzo Nibali. He'll hear the roar of the Italian crowd. He's counting down the meters. 500 meters to go now for Vincenzo Nibali. Quick step, essentially, against the Italian. And it's Julian Alaphilippe who's doing all the work to drag Elia Viviani. Darren Impey's still there. Caleb Ewan sitting on his wheel. Can they get to the Italian? The meters are running out. I think Vincenzo Nibali's going to hold on. He can almost start to think about his celebration. Will he be caught now? A huge battle to get across to him. But Vincenzo Nibali is within sight of the finish line. Arnaud Demar, Caleb Ewan opens up his sprint. It's a sprint for second place though, as Vincenzo Nibali takes his first ever victory in Milan-San Remo, making it back-to-back monuments on Italian soil.
The stage that he has been looking at coming into this Giro d'Italia, as Froome now, he goes on the offensive, he goes on the attack over the top of this final climb, and nobody at the moment can go with him.
Well, Chris Froome has now set this race on fire. Kenny Elizondo softened them up. The rest of the field with numerous body blows. They're all on the ropes, and then whilst they're on the ropes, the hammer blow has come. Still a long way to go, 50 miles in fact of the Queen stage, and the Giro d'Italia is imploding on the slopes of the Colle del Finestre. Look at that, still a brutal 75 kilometres to go of this stage. He takes the beat on. Thankfully, his Soigneur is there, managed to helicopter himself into position somehow. Takes the preen there, 3 seconds in the bag. That could prove to be very, very valuable. That buffer that Tom Dumoulin had over Chris Froome He's been eaten away. And further up the Jafrau is the solitary figure of Chris Froome. He has been alone since, for the last 70 kilometres or so. It's been an absolutely sensational performance by this man. Already has conquered the Zoncolan. Looks as if he's going to conquer the Queen stage of this race. He's conquered the most difficult climb in the Giro, and now it looks like he's going to conquer the most difficult stage and incredibly, quite possibly, wrestle the Maglia Rosa from the shoulders of virtual leader Tom Dumoulin. For the first time showing a little bit of fatigue, rises out of the saddle. The slope still rising, it kicks up again mercilessly all the way to the line, fighting with his bicycle now. He's conquered the Monte Zoncolan just a few days ago, and it looks as if he's riding himself into the Maglia Rosa with what could be one of the performances of his career so far. The final bend here, urged on by the crowd. Chris Froome of Team Sky is going to take a quite memorable win here atop the Jafrau, and still it fights, almost reduced to a walking pace in the finishing straight here. It won't be very, very long before we stop the clock. Has he got enough to take the jersey? He needs 2 minutes and 49 seconds. The road nearly now with 50 kilometres to go. Oh, this is absolutely agonising, the sprint to the line. But Chris Froome, masterful performance, takes the win on top of the Jafrau.
Absolutely incredible. He hit out early. Look at what the staff, the team staff, they knew the plan. They went out there, they thought they'd execute it, and it has delivered.